Hello, Mustang basketball fans, and welcome to another edition of Mustang Basketball with Brad Bigler. I'm your host, Kelly Law. Thanks for joining us here at SMSUmustangs.com and at Studio One, Marshall Cable, local cable access. Mustang basketball had a great weekend this past weekend at the RA facility. SMSU sweeping Northern State and MSU Moorhead. The Mustangs a season-long 4-game winning streak and have won 7 of their last 8 games. We'll talk about both those games and look at the highlights of the exciting victories between the Wolves and the Mustangs and the Wolves and the Dragons. And joining us, as always, is the head coach, Brad Bigler, and the Mustangs beating Northern State 77-43, and then an exciting victory over MSU Moorhead 70-68. The Mustangs now 9-5 overall, 6-2 in the Northern Sun Conference. And Coach, we talked last week how important it was to defend your home court and to pick up wins against very good teams in the NSIC North, and you did exactly that. Really set the tone on Friday night.
And give the guys a lot of credit. Going into the weekend, it was going to be some tough matchups, and both teams present, they play a little bit different styles, and we had to adjust to both nights. And I thought our seniors especially really had good weekends throughout the night.
Well, you look at the 4 halves that you played. The first 3, just unbelievable. I think I figured out you outscored your opponents by about, in the first 3 halves of basketball by about 40-some points. I mean, that's really dominating 2 very good teams. Moorhead came back and made it an exciting game. Obviously took the lead late, but really shooting the ball and defensively against Northern State, just one of the most outstanding performances we've ever had against Northern, actually the largest win ever against the Wolves. But as you mentioned, the players really stepped up and made a conscious effort to get it done on both ends of the floor.
And traditionally, coming out of the break, we haven't necessarily been the best team. A lot of times, like last week we talked about, you have your legs. You just don't know what type of legs the guys are going to have. You don't know where their conditioning's at. And also, we're a system. Our system is really what helps us be successful. And coming out of the break, sometimes you need individual players to be able to step up and be that key guy to kind of carry you through some of those times of adversity. And I thought that first night versus versus Northern, I thought NSU, they looked a little flat. We were able to kind of jump out on them halfway through the first half and kind of make a run, and I don't think they responded.
Yeah, of course, the Mustangs jumped out to a 40-20 halftime lead. Mustangs shoot 63%. They limit to Wolves to just 30% shooting. Really got after it on both ends, but the shooting, we're not known for a high offense, 3-point shooting team, but the Mustangs connect on 10 3-pointers. Most the Mustangs have hit. The last time we hit 10 was almost 2 years ago against Concordia St. Paul, but an outstanding night by Joey Bartlett. 6 of 6 shooting, 5 of 5 from behind the arc. You really can't have much of a better night than what Joey did.
And I give his teammates credit. I mean, just his ability to shoot the basketball, but they were all setting him up, drive and kick type actions. And Joey's feet were set, and it's just a matter of stepping in and folding their follow through and knocking down those shots.
Again, the Mustangs 10 of 20 from behind the arc, 7 of 10 from the free throw line. SMSU with 17 assists in the ball game. Also playing very well coming off the bench. Mitch Wegg, 3 of 4 shooting, had 6 points, 4 steals in the game, 3 rebounds, and he's just doing those little things that need to do. And now he's coming off the bench, but really has been a spark for you guys doing that here in the last month.
And when he comes off the bench, he just brings toughness. He brings defense. He brings rebounding. A lot of times at the end of basketball games, when we need a defensive stop, Mitch is on the floor. And what I like best about him, even though he can guard a center, when we put him at the power forward position and we have to switch with guards, he does a pretty good job of sitting down and guarding and keeping those perimeter guys out of the paint.
Well, the Mustangs blew out the Wolves 77-43 and never really threatened at all in the second half. Go on to Saturday, the Mustangs take on MSU Moorhead. They get the win 70-68, a 13-point lead for the Mustangs at halftime, had a 20-point lead just about less than 2 minutes to go in the first half. The Dragons scored the last 7 points to make it a 13-point game. They rally back and take the lead, and a great sign by you guys, and having that veteran leadership, not to kind of panic late in the game, down by 4 with under 2 minutes to go, but seniors stepped up, and Bernard Birch, really a great weekend overall, but what a fabulous last 2 minutes he had in regulation.
Yeah, and it probably even extended a little bit longer. I mean, those last 5 minutes, he was finding guys. He was really getting to the rim and finishing, and in a couple different ways. And Bernard really stepped up, and it was just nice to see. In that last huddle before the game-winning basket, the guys are really calm, and it was nice to see. You just could see their experience. We've repped out the play that we were going to run, and it was just a matter of going out and executing it. And thankfully, Minnesota State Moorhead gave us a lane. Bernard took the lane and was able to go finish and hit a game-winning bucket.
Well, 20 points for Bernard Birch in the Saturday night game, 8 of 11 shooting. He had 3 assists and 3 steals as well. A big night for Nick Smith, first double-double of the season for the Mustangs. He had 18 points and 11 rebounds. A really nice weekend for Nick to get in the scoring. He had 15 points, 9 rebounds on Friday night, but importantly, became the 18th player in program history to reach 1,000 career points, and nearly got it on Friday night. Had a really nice ball game. Attempted some three-pointers to possibly get it out of the way, but we got to do it on Saturday, and that's a special honor, obviously, to play at this level and to score that many points. And just 18 players of all the guys that have come through here at Southwest. Really nice honor for Nick to get that out of the way, and he's going to be in the top 10 scoring and already top 10 rebounding here at Southwest.
And when you look at just pure numbers, when it's all said and done, Nick will probably be one of the best centers to play here at Southwest, especially when you're just looking at the numbers. But what I like best about Nick is just his unselfish attitude. He's a guy that he's a team-first guy, and at the end of the day, all that matters to him is if we win. There are going to be nights where he gets the ball a lot, and he's going to get a lot of opportunity. And there's going to be certain nights where, you know what, he's just not going to get the ball, so he has to affect the game in different ways, and he does that by getting rebounds, by blocking shots, and getting offensive rebounds. So just a well-rounded player, one of the most efficient players that I have coached, and a guy that we're very thankful to have.
Again, Nick with the 1,000-point score now. He's 9th in program history in rebounding and is 4th in field goal percentage, and he's also the all-time leader in blocked shots as well. But the Mustangs get the win, 70-68 against the Dragons. SMSU, struggling shooting from the field, coach, and that was kind of the, thing that was nice to see is you're able to fight through not making a three-pointer in the second half. Made just 8 baskets, shot 38%, which is well below your average, and one of the top shooting teams in the conference at nearly 50%. But able to grind it out and get some stops late when you had to, and then as we mentioned, we'll see the highlight, Bernard making a play. But there's just a lot of different factors to fight through despite having that big lead in the second half.
And unfortunately, we were having some turnovers that were leading to easy buckets. And we kind of did everything you're not supposed to do to let Moorhead back in. But you got to give them credit. They had the ability to do that to teams, to step up and knock down open shots, and also to hit those tough contested threes. And a good team and a team that's going to be in the mix till the end, just as Northern. I think both of these teams have the ability. Right now, they're still 1 and 2 in the North. Both of them have a chance to win the whole thing, and so very talented teams. Just thankful we came out on top.
Well, you'll talk about having that big lead at halftime against Northern. You came out and played very well in the second half. 13-point lead against Moorhead, and then the Dragons took control a little bit in the second half. How difficult, or what do you say as a coaching staff at halftime when you've got the momentum and all of a sudden the break comes, or vice versa when you really need to start over again? I suppose it varies each game, but it just seemed the guys maybe just weren't as into it, I guess, in that second half. Maybe thinking it was kind of coming a little easy here the past few games, possibly.
Potentially. I think they all respect both these teams, and sometimes it's a game of runs, and that's what you saw this weekend in that second half. We were able to have a nice run in the first half. They were able to run in the second half, and both quality teams. Again, Moorhead's going to be a team that they have the ability to be those playmakers down the end of the game where they can make those plays. They can make tough plays, and it was just nice to see our guys kind of fight it out. And again, like you said, we were down 4 with a couple minutes left, and our guys kind of were able to score, and with that and one by Bernard, and then get a stop and rebound off a missed free throw, and kind of go down and execute on the other end.
Well, again, the neat thing to see as well for Bernard Birch, second time now this season, in the last month or so, that he's made a game-winning shot with less than 15 seconds to go, and you need guys to be able to make plays. And obviously he's going to have probably more opportunities this year, or other guys are going to have to make some plays, because obviously opponents are probably going to maybe key on Bernard, but he's just so strong getting to the rim. And I think that three-point play, which we'll see later on in the show, just shows how strong he is and why those fifth-year seniors or fourth-year seniors can make plays because of just their ability to get to the rim and finish plays.
And sometimes when you have those types of players, and we saw with Jordan a little bit last year, you simplify things. You get the ball in their hands, you give them the proper space. If they need a ball screen, you give them a ball screen. But you simplify things and just kind of let them go. And I think that's what you saw on Saturday night a little bit just throughout the game. We were tired. Mm-hmm. And so we went to some more simple concepts of just two-man games and trying to get the ball in Nick's hands and letting Bernard just kind of make plays. And thankfully for us, Bernard was really caught some momentum and got some confidence there in the second half.
Well, the Mustangs, knock on wood, are getting fairly healthy, and you got to use a lot of guys off the bench. Again, about 5 guys in your rotation, and which is good. I mean, guys are going to be fresh. You look at a Drew Osmondson and Cole Martin back in the lineup. He was out for 7 games, and Travis Minders and Sean Condon, Mitch Wegg really gives you a pretty good depth there. And if you need to go big, you've got David Condon as well. But I'm sure now, as a coaching staff, you're just trying to get used to now having the full allotment of players since we've been shorthanded for much of the year.
And we are trying to figure out those rotations. It hasn't been easy. You're trying to figure out when you can, get those guys in, when they can get a rhythm, how they can get a rhythm. And but at the same time, those guys have been playing, those 7, 8 guys that were grinding before, they were playing good basketball. And they're right, they're not just going to give up their minutes. So that's where you saw the competition. I think that's where our defense has gotten better. And a lot of it's because they know if they're not going to defend at the highest level, well, I'm probably going to lose a couple rotations. So just that effort's been great. And hopefully we can continue.
Kind of talk about that. Let the fans know how that works, your rotations. Is it just you look and go, okay, I want you out now, or this? What's the matchups? I mean, are there coaches on your staff, your assistants, helping you, saying, maybe this rotation would work? I kind of explain the dynamic of the substitutions.
Well, in years past, we did a lot of, kind of a 3-man rotations or a 2-man rotation. This year's been a little bit different. Those 3 timeouts that you have in a half, that affects your time. That affects your rotations too. So right now we're trying to get Drew in for Bernard, right around that 16s, that 11s, those 6-minute marks. That way he gives them a spell right before the timeout. The other guys, Sean, Matt Zager, and Will Giddings kind of do a rotation. But if those rotations stretch long, that's an opportunity for Cole or Travis to get in there. And then you really have Joe, Mitch, and Nick Smith, kind of a 3-man rotation right there. So that one's a pretty easy one. It's just kind of who's the next guy, go. And if we get in foul trouble, you have David Condon to be able to step up and take in a rotation as well.
Well, it was a very successful weekend for the Mustangs, beating Northern State and MSU Moorhead. And we're going to take a look at the highlights from the RA facility as the Mustangs took on the Wolves on Friday night and then faced the Dragons on Saturday. And the Mustangs here in the first half going left to right. And again, a nice first half. Mustangs shoot 63%. Nick Smith, 15 points, and he starts it off here with his first 2.
And again, just good basketball. Will Giddings getting in that paint and finding Nick Smith for the open shot.
Mustangs, again, 17 assists in the ball game. There's Joy Bartlett hitting a 3 off an assist from Birch, and then Nick Smith off the end out. Will getting patient, and again, Northern pretty much going one-on-one, and Nick fighting through it, keeping making a good decision, keep the possession alive, and reset the offense.
And early on, Northern defends our ball screens a little bit differently, so it took us a second to get to how to figure out how to attack them. But as you saw right there, again, just another hard drive. Nick moves without the basketball and gets an easy bucket.
Mustang defense limiting the Wolves to 29.6% shooting in the first half. Mustangs here, the fresh 35 clock, grind it down here and attack the rim, and I think keeps things alive here by Mitch Wegg.
And there was a little bit longer of a possession here, but again, I think our goal of our offense is to get the ball in the paint, to attack them with the dribble, to try to either get that 2-point basket. And you see right here, Mitch Wegg, late in the shot clock, just putting his head down and getting points in the paint.
And Will Giddings did not score a lot of points in the 2 games, just 4 points total, but did have 7 rebounds. Here's his only basket here on Friday night, hitting a 18-foot jump shot from the baseline.
What I saw, Will defended pretty well this weekend, and he rebounded the basketball well. His numbers don't even – there was a couple of those rebounds where he was fighting with the guy and actually got the team defensive rebound, but just his ability to go in there, and we're such a different team when he rebounds at a high level.
Here, Cole Martin missed 7 consecutive games with an injury. Hits a jump shot. He had 5 points, including a 3-pointer. Nick Smith here with the rebound. Mustangs keep it alive. Smith in the first half, 5 of 5 shooting, 11 points. There is Bartlett hitting a 3. And then Drew Osmondson here drawing the foul on the offensive end.
Good ball movement. It's going to come back. They're going to set it back up, and Drew's going to get a hard drive here.
Drew on the top of your screen now has the basketball. Saw the lane and drew the foul. Made both free throws. And then Sean Condon. Mustangs 5 3-pointers in the opening half, and Condon drilling this one off a great ball rotation and excellent pass by Osmondson for the assist. And then we'll continue on with Birch getting the assist here over to Joey Bartlett.
And when Joey's knocking down open shots, it opens up a lot of things. We talked a lot about that, and you're going to see here Bernard with the hard drive, and it's just sometimes that simple. The hard drive and kick. Joey's got his feet set, rise up and knock down the shot.
10 minutes of play. Bartlett 11 points in the opening half. 3 3-pointers, also hit a couple of free throws. Matt Zager gets into the action, hits his only 3 of the night. He had 5 points, 2 of 3 shooting. And out of a timeout, Mustangs here get a couple of plays back-to-back here for Nick Smith.
Bernard just finding Nick off the pick and roll, and again, that's just sometimes you simplify it, and that's what we did right there. And Nick's ability to just finish, and when Nick gets it going, like in this play right here, it wasn't nothing creative. Just get the ball to Nick and kind of get out of the way and let him go to work.
Again, the Wolves enter the game 10-2 overall, 5-1 in the conference. Their only loss was at MSU Moorhead, so they were playing some very good basketball, and good win for the Mustangs here as they wind down the first half.
And this was it was actually designed to do a different play on this, but we cleared out the backside or cleared out the front side, and Bernard just says, I'm going to take it, and just gets all the way to the rim and finishes for 2.
So that gives the Mustangs a 40-20 halftime lead. Mustangs start off and really dominate in the second half. That lead never really threatened. Mustangs jumped out to a 25-point lead in the first 6 minutes and cruised from there.
And again, it was nice to just see our guys playing unselfish ball. Really, on the offensive end, had good patience. You see here Nick just taking his time, going in, going to work, and going to that jump hook.
Mustangs clear the rebound, come back in transition. Sean Condon kicking it off, and there's Bartlett again for the 3.
Again, that's where he gets credit for making it, but, man, his teammates did such a good job of finding him, and whether that was in transition or in the half court.
You can see Nick Smith really having his way, made great first half, and some of the shots in the second half trying to get the 1,000-point really hurt his percentage, but realistically, he's basically about 8 of 9, 8 of 10 shooting in this game. There's Condon drawing a foul, goes to the line. Mustangs only 10 free throw attempts. Northern 4 of 17 from the foul line, adding to their struggles. Great pass, Nick Smith, and finding Condon or Mitch Wegg open for the basket.
Good execution. Right here, Bernard with a nice backdoor. Cole Martin with a nice pass. I think that's my favorite play of our offense. When those guys get those backdoors, that really opens up a lot of things, and it's such a neat play to watch.
Great execution. Again, Martin in 10 minutes had a couple of assists, a couple of baskets. Here the Mustangs draw. Joey Bartlett driving, and not only can shoot the three, but drives to the basket. He made 3 of 4 foul shots in the game. And Travis Minders gets into the act here with a long three.
And they were sitting in a zone, and I think they were trying to figure out how to match up, and Travis was wide open and stepped up and knocked it down.
Sean Condon then follows up. Again, Sean off the bench, 11 points, 4 of 6 from the field, hit a couple of three-pointers. There's a nice drive for 2. He follows that up moments later with a three-pointer.
Good driving kick, and with our offense, and that's Bernard Birch has been doing a great job of getting in the paint, coming to jump stops, making good decisions, and you're going to see here Bernard with a nice take baseline reverse layup.
Birch 8 points, 7 assists, 2 steals, just 24 minutes, able to rest some of the guys, get everybody who's eligible to play to get in the action. As we close down the highlights here. Birch over to drills it off the pass from Giddings. That might have been an extra pass, get it to Nick for a possible chance for 1,000 points. But
we were trying, but that's okay.
Yeah, Bernard was open and he drills it. Good to see that jump shot. He's really shooting at a high level this year. Great to see for the senior. And here's Cole Martin launching a three-pointer as the Mustangs get the victory in the contest over the Wolves, 77-43. And after the ball game, obviously the Mustangs check out the scores, and you have Dragons who have just one loss all year entering the weekend. Find out they get beat by Sioux Falls on Friday night, and there's always a couple of ways to look at that. More often than not, when the team loses, they're going to be ready to go on Saturday. And unfortunately, the Dragons came to town, probably fired up, and we played a really good first half, as we mentioned, up by 20. But you knew the Dragons would give a good run, and they did. And they're a very quality team that can really shoot the basketball at a high level, and they come out and connect on 9 3-pointers in the game.
And they make 9 3-pointers on average in the conference, and that's something that we were hoping to kind of stop. And that's just how good they are, because they have so many different guys that can step up and knock them down. So give them credit. Again, I thought we gave them, we allowed them some confidence at that second half. The end of the first half, right at the beginning of the second half, where if we would have finished better and then maybe started a little bit better, you never know. It could have been a lot easier of a ball game.
Yeah, again, the Mustangs had a 20-point lead under 2 minutes to go, and the Dragons missed a three-pointer. They got an offensive board, got a put back, an and one, and then got to stop it and finish up with a 7-0 run. So the Mustangs led 39-26, and let's take a look at the highlights here as they led 39-26 at halftime. But the Mustangs back and forth in the final few minutes or so, and it was an exciting one to say the least as the Mustangs get the victory. SMSU here opening up on defense, getting a stop, and again the Mustangs started off strong, scored the first 5 points, limited Dragons scoreless for the first 4 minutes. There's Nick Smith getting a basket. He needed 4 points or 3 to get to 1,000. He got 2 right there. And again, the Dragons, they're going to shoot the three. They shot 11 times from behind the arc. Made 4 of them in the first half, but the Mustangs started off strong with Smith with the basket, and then Bernard with that floater, and then Bernard getting fouled here down the lane.
And as the game went on, I thought both teams, honestly, their legs were a little bit slow. Both teams had a little bit slow step, and especially on the defensive end, I think both teams had a tough time guarding each other's ball screen actions.
Sean Condon, the layup, made the score 7-2. Got the lead up to 8-2 before the Dragons started to finally made their first field goal. Here's Mitch Wegg drawing a foul. He would hit 1 of 2 to give the Mustangs an 8-2 lead. And Dragons finally hit their first field goal with 14:24 to go in that opening half.
See here, Will Giddings is going to drive hard. Matt Zager's going to turn the corner, and that's a tough finish. I don't know if people realize how tough a finish that is. Matt Zager makes it look pretty easy.
Mustangs had 3 3-pointers in the opening half, and Mustangs get one of them right here. Great pass, and Zager wide open drills the 3. Big night for Matt. He had 18 points, 5 of 8 from the field, 6 of 6 from the free throw line, more importantly.
and Matt carried us in the first half, and I thought Nick was pretty consistent throughout, and then like a point guard's supposed to, Bernard finished the ball game in a lot of different ways.
Yeah, Zager 5 of 5 in the first half from the field. He had 14 points. There's the 1,000 point for Nick Smith with the hook shot with the right hand. 18th player in program history to reach that four-figured mark. Another basket there for the Mustangs. And now here's the Mustangs getting that second and third opportunity and drawing the foul.
And yeah, like just showing Nick how he can affect the game in so many different ways. But getting that 1,000 point, that's a good accomplishment. And again, I think after the game, you saw all he did was give his credit to his teammates like a great teammate does.
See a lot of different guys step up. Great extra pass there by Mitch. But Bartlett, 1 of 4 shooting, after a big night on Friday. But others stepped up in that first half. We talked about Zager with his excellent half, scoring 14 points. And Joey not able to get open there, but makes the extra pass. And then Osmondson over to Giddings for the layup.
And those backdoors were there most of the night. I'm sure against St. Cloud and Duluth, that'll be scouted a little bit differently. It'll be a little bit tougher to get those looks.
Mustangs shot 52% in the opening half, 31% for MSU Moorhead.
Coming around, good ball movement. Nick's going to end up getting it and skips it across to Matt Zager for the open three. On the defensive end, you have Matt Zager sliding over with a nice shot block. Come down. And sometimes we're trying to battle better with our rhythm on offense. And sometimes when we get that big defensive stop, we don't have to necessarily push it up the floor and take a quick shot. We want to make them defend a little bit, and that's what you see right here. Work the ball inside to Nick Smith, who goes to that left-handed jump hook.
He can do it with both hands, which is great to see for the senior. Tough to guard. Getting the Mustangs clear the boards. SMSU out-rebounding both their opponents again this weekend. And Smith on the left block and draws the foul.
And that's one of those new calls. I mean, when it gets a post touch, you can't do an arm bar. And it's something that, again, if they're going to go one-on-one, it's hard to stop guys one-on-one on the block.
And there's another foul. Great move by the Mustangs. Zager getting fouled. Bartlett hit 1-3 in this game, and here it is coming up. He's on the bottom of your screen. Just that ball movement, and I think the key here, Coach, you see is just the movement away from the basketball. He just slid over, found an open space, and his teammate found him, and he drills the three.
And that's a big part of our offense, getting to those pro spots. And right here, Bernard Birch with a nice move, little ball fake, comes back baseline, and that's one of his known plays right there. He likes to do that play quite a bit, and he's pretty good at it.
Bernard, 5 points in the opening half, 15 in the second. You saw that layup. Started off here for the Mustangs. They went up by 15 early in the second half. Dragons just kept slowly chipping away. A nice pass by Bernard, and Nick draws the foul. Here's Mitch Wegg off a nice pass from Sean Condon will draw the foul. SMSU got to the line 30 times, made 25, a tremendously high number, 83%, helped win this game.
And it was nice to see our free throw shooting getting back up there. We haven't necessarily shot at the greatest. Been working on some more reps in practice, but right there, Sean Condon with a nice window pass to Nick Smith.
And Bernard, who really just made a lot of big-time plays down the stretch, driving and getting the basket to go. And we're getting down to crunch time now here in the last 3 or 4 minutes. Mustangs kind of went back and forth with the Dragons. And nearly a steal by MSU. In the first 5 minutes or so, they were kind of picking off that pass, but Mustangs fortunate here to keep the ball alive and
work it a little bit. And again, that's just our patience right here. You see our guys not panicking, coming out, handling the basketball, and then boom, Nick Smith with a wide open layup. Nice pass by Sean Condon.
Oh, very good job by SMSU. Condon making that pass, and here's Mitch Wegg will draw the foul.
Good drive by Will Giddings. Going to move it around. Matt Zager's going to have a nice shot fake, hard drive, finds Mitch Wegg, and just a good take by Mitch Wegg, and a good play by Matt Zager.
Mitch would give the Mustangs the lead with the free throw there. Continuing on, here's Vennard with the basket. And he was, again, we mentioned, the kind of the go-to guy here down the stretch. Mustangs made 6 consecutive free throws to take a 5-point lead with just under 6 minutes to go. And talking about those free throws, and
that's a heck of a move by Vennard. Just the spin, shot fake, up and under type action, and he was good. He was good, and he got that confidence rolling, and we're going to need him if we want to win those big ball games down the stretch, making those types of plays.
And that gave the Mustangs the lead. Now he makes 2 free throws here after being fouled. Mitch Wegg made a couple, then Matt Zager made 2. The Mustangs go up by 5. Northern, though, rallied back and hit a couple of big shots. And we're going to see Nick Smith here drawing the foul here with just under 4 minutes to go.
And went back to the 2-man game. Actually, Vennard finds Mitch Wegg for the foul. Mitch Wegg goes up and needs to make a few of those and ones, but what a heck of a find by Bernard Birch.
That gave the Mustangs a 3-point lead there. Here we got a block call. Zager fouled, and he made a couple of free throws.
And he was 6 of 6 on the night, which was really good to see Matt Zager step up and knock down those free throws.
Smith with the foul there, or draws a foul. He gets 2 free throws. Mustangs lead by 2. Mustangs now down by 4, and a huge and one by Bernard Birch.
And that was just a player making a play. Boy, he just stepped up and made a great play. And here you see again, going to come back around. We got a foul. Matt Zager makes his free throws. He steps up. And then you're going to see right here Bernard Birch with just a little oop-de-oop. Swish, doesn't hit the rim, and we were able to get the stop. And unfortunately, you're going to have to go watch the last play on SMSUmustangs.com.
Yes.
And Kelly Loft's last second shot.
Yeah, we kind of teased you with that one. Kind of surprised all of us there. We don't want to show you the game-winning shot, just down to the last minute there, but a great shot by Vennard. Gave the Mustangs the 1-point lead, and then the Dragons tied it up and had a chance to take the lead, but missed a free throw, and then, of course, the timeout. And Coach, talk about that, the last play. Moorhead ties it up. You've got plenty of time to run that floor, 5+ seconds to go, and got the inbounds pass. Joey hands it off to Vennard, and he made a play.
And basically, I mean, he just dribbled the length of the floor, and the lane kind of opened up. It's a tough situation. It's one of those, as the defense, you don't want to foul. You don't want to lose the game by putting him at the foul line. We had 4 shooters on the floor with Vennard, so you have to guard the 3-point line a little bit, just in case he just drives and kicks. And fortunately for us, Vennard made the play.
And the Mustangs get the win and are now 9-5 overall and 6-2 in the conference. This weekend, Mustangs on the road at St. Cloud State on Friday, 8 o'clock tip-off in St. Cloud, and then Minnesota Duluth on Saturday with game time at 6 o'clock. We'll talk next week about those 2 games and look ahead, look at the highlights, and the Mustangs back at home 2 weeks after that, or a week after that, as they host Winona State and Upper Iowa. Thanks for watching this week's episode of Mustang Basketball with Brad Bigler. For the head coach, Brad Bigler, I'm Kelly Loft. Until next time, go Mustangs.